Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hello, twisted humans.
Do you find yourself wanting to know more about the latest murder, conspiracy, cult, or haunting?
Then this is the podcast for you.
In 1952, there was a record high of UFOs reported. 1,500 sightings.
There has been evidence of human sacrifice, devil worship, and it is haunted by more spirits than can be counted.
A family of 2 adults and 2 kids reportedly saw a giant flying thing with glowing red eyes.
And meanwhile, the family's nanny that helped Veronica to care for her and Lucian's children was found bludgeoned to death in the basement of their family home. I'm Alicia.
And I'm Sierra, and this is Twisted and Uncorked.
Welcome to the Getting Down and Wordy podcast ad.
What do we do on this podcast?
Well, it's the first musical podcast.
Can you try that again in real words so that people can understand?
Fine. We talk about the intersection of popular music and language.
Oh, can we also talk about Eurovision?
Okay.
Find us on Apple and Spotify.
We are a Podmoth Network podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us again for another episode of Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy.
Yeah,
how are you doing?
To hang out with you guys. I'm doing good. How
Yeah.
are you?
I'm doing fantastic. What story do you have for us today?
I'm going to be talking about Gareth Williams.
Gareth? Oh.
Yeah, strange death.
Oh,
What are you
okay.
going to be talking about today?
I'm going to be talking about a monument in Ireland that's pretty cool. I now want to go to Ireland and see this.
I'd like to go to Ireland.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I've wanted to go there, but I want to go and see this thing.
Is that where Stonehenge is? Did
No,
we
that's
talk
in the
about
UK.
this? Okay.
We did talk about it briefly.
But isn't Ireland in the UK? Isn't part of the United Kingdom?
It's part of it. It's part of it, but it's not. That's not where Stonehenge is. We're going to talk.
Okay.
I'm going to mention Stonehenge very briefly.
Okay.
Yeah. To go with this story, I have the Irish Maid cocktail. The ingredients are 2 ounces of Jameson whiskey, Caskmates or black. I don't know anything about Irish whiskey, so I don't know the difference between the two, but that's what's recommended. 3 slices of cucumber, 1/2 ounce of elderflower liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice, and 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup. The steps are to add into a shaking tin, put your 2 slices of your cucumber, because you're going to save 1 for your garnish. Muddle those cucumbers. Then add your whiskey, elderflower liqueur, lemon juice, and simple syrup, and lots of ice. Shake vigorously for 30 seconds. Then strain into a rocks glass filled with ice and garnish with your last slice of fresh cucumber. So
I don't like cucumber drinks, so I don't think I'm going to be able to taste it, but
I do like cucumber drinks.
it just tastes like the texture when it's in a drink, it makes it like slimy.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. It's kind of like, I mean, a white linen, which I don't think we've ever done a white linen on this show, but it's got cucumber in it. And I like those when they're done right. I've had bad ones, though, where I was like, no, thank you. And I don't know what made it bad.
The cucumber Gatorade is the worst drink I've ever tasted.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's some people's favorite Gatorades. It's my boss's
Oh.
favorite Gatorade, and it's disgusting.
Well, Gatorade itself is disgusting.
No, Gatorade's
Not
good,
a fan. No.
but not the
No.
cucumber. Ugh. Let us know if
Disagree.
you like cucumber, and if you do like the cucumber one, unfollow us.
No, don't unfollow us. We're friends with everyone. It's fine. All right. Are you ready to try this drink? I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. Ooh. Yeah.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I
The
like
cucumber
it.
scares me, but it's good.
I'm glad. I thought it's a very small amount of elderflower liqueur, and I was like, "Am I going to be able to taste that?" But yeah, I can taste it. It's okay. I like it.
Definitely better than last week.
It's very. It would be a good spring drink because it just is so fresh tasting.
Yeah.
Just makes me think of spring.
Playing yard games, drinking that.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for this monument in Ireland?
Yes.
It is in the northeastern part of Ireland. There is an interesting circular mound of earth and stone called Newgrange. And I don't know if you want to look up some of the pictures while I'm telling this story, but they're pretty cool. It rises from the green fields of the... okay. I'm just going to say it right now. I do not speak Irish. I can only attempt some of these words, and they're gonna be poor representations, but I did look up how to pronounce a lot of things, but I'm still probably gonna do it wrong.
They should turn this shit to an Airbnb. This looks so cool.
It's cool, right?
That's really cool.
It's cool. Just wait. It doesn't just look cool. There's important stuff behind this. It rises from the green fields of the Boyne Valley like a low white hill. It is curved. It has a curved quartz face, catching whatever light the Irish sky will give it. At first glance, it looks simple: a rounded mound, a neat retaining wall, a single dark doorway at the front. But the closer you get, the more the place begins to feel like a deliberate threshold between worlds. The mound itself is huge, about 80 meters or over 260 feet across, and 13 meters or about 40 feet high. Built from layers of earth and stone that hide a narrow passageway leading to a central chamber. Around its base runs a ring of massive curbstones. Each one weighs about 3 tons. Many are carved with different shapes, from spirals, diamonds, and chevron shapes, carved into these gigantic stones. The kind of abstract art that seems to move if you stare at it long enough. The most famous of these is the entrance stone, a broad boulder carved with a triple spiral motif that has become a kind of emblem for the site. Inside, the passage is long and low, lined with large slabs of stone that still bear tool marks from the original builders. It runs gently uphill so that every step takes you a little higher and a little further from daylight. At the end of the passage, the space opens into a cross-shaped chamber with 3 side recesses, each holding a great stone basin that once cradled the skeletal remains or ashes of the dead. Standing there, surrounded by rock and darkness, you are inside a building that has been standing for more than 5,000 years. Radiocarbon dating shows the structure was built around 3200 BC, making it older than Stonehenge and the pyramids of Giza, which is baffling to me that anything can be that old. From the outside, Newgrange can seem like just another ancient monument in a valley full of them. Part of the wider, here we go, Brú na Báine complex. I am apologizing again to any of our Irish listeners. I'm sorry. I'm trying my hardest. There are other mounds nearby as well, but there is one feature that makes this mound unlike almost anything else in the world. A small opening above the entrance known as the roof box. For most of the year, it seems decorative, a rectangle framed in stone just above the doorway. Only at midwinter does its purpose become obvious. In the mornings around the winter solstice, if the sky is clear, the first rays of the rising sun slip through the little opening and send a beam of light all the way down the passage into the central chamber. For a few minutes, the darkness inside is pierced by a slowly moving bar of golden light that climbs across the floor and up onto the stone basins, briefly illuminating the spirals carved there. Then, as the sun lifts higher, the beam breaks apart and the chamber drops back into shadow for another year. The alignment is so precise that it has turned Newgrange from a forgotten burial mound into one of the most famous prehistoric sites in Europe. For centuries, though, Newgrange was anything but famous. By the early modern period, the Great Mound was overgrown, its entrance buried, its purpose completely forgotten. Local legends said it was a place belonging to the other world and to fairies. It was called, I don't know, She and Broga, or Bru Nabanye, and stories grew around it about gods, magicians, and heroes who used the mound as a home or a doorway to other places. The modern story of Newgrange begins by accident in 1699. A local landowner ordered his workers to quarry stones from the mound to build roads and walls on his estate. As they dug into the side of the hill, they exposed the edge of the passage and the massive entrance stone. So basically, there was just a big lump, and he's like, go collect some rocks from over there. And they did. And in doing so, they started to unearth the full monument itself. Suddenly, what had been a natural-looking hill revealed itself as a stone-built architecture. Visitors soon started coming to explore the newly opened passage, crawling into the darkness by candlelight. Early historians wrote about the site with a mix of awe and confusion. Some thought it must be a place of druid sacrifice, others that it was a burial ground for ancient Irish chiefs or kings. A few were so impressed by the engineering that they refused to believe the prehistoric Irish could have built it at all, suggesting instead that Romans, Phoenicians, or even ancient Egyptians were responsible. Over time, that reluctance to credit the local Neolithic farmers became part of a long trail of speculation that still clings to the site. Serious archaeological work began in the 19th and 20th centuries with more systemic excavation and recording. That makes Newgrange not only older than many more famous monuments, but also part of a broader network of passage tombs stretching across Ireland and Western Europe. In the 1960s and 70s, archaeologists began a long excavation and partial reconstruction that transformed the way Newgrange is presented. The team cleared the interior, recorded the art on the stones, and studied the structure of the mound itself. They also rebuilt the front retaining wall using white quartz and granite cobbles found collapsed around the base, creating the distinct bright facade visitors see today. That reconstruction is controversial in some circles, but it restored Newgrange to something like a deliberate architectural statement rather than a random grassy hump of nothing. During the excavations, a local story reached the archaeologist. People said the winter sun used to shine in the tomb. Curious, he observed the passage at midwinter and realized the key was not in the main doorway, but the small roof box above it. In 1967, he witnessed the solstice sunrise, lighting the chamber, confirming that the builders had designed the entire monument around this brief annual event. That single observation strengthened the idea that Newgrange was not only a tomb, but also a kind of solar machine, a place where the dead and returned sun met the stone. Archaeologists generally classify Newgrange as a passage tomb, a structure built to house the dead in a central chamber reached by a long passage. Human remains, both cremated and unburnt, were found in the stone basins, suggesting that at least some of the people placed inside of there were treated with elaborate care. Some researchers talk about a cult of the dead, a belief system in which ancestors were central to ritual life, and the mound served as a focus for that worship. At the same time, the solstice alignment points to a second layer of meaning. The careful tracking of the sun's position, the work required to line up the passage with the midwinter or sunrise, and the way the light touches the heart of the tomb suggests that the builders were equally concerned with the cycle of the year, which to me is just wild that they could do that. You know, like to know
Like
exactly
able to calculate.
Yeah.
Because like the winter solstice happens once a year. You'd have to be sitting there and know like where it's going to be every year. Like,
right.
That is.
And for it to be like the height of the box and the angle, for it to just hit there on purpose, that they figured that out is bonkers to me.
I'll say it again. They need to turn this bitch to Airbnb. Start making bread.
The darkest, shortest days of winter would have been dangerous for farming communities. Seeing the sun return in such a dramatic way could have been both reassurance and a spectacle. Some scholars imagine Newgrange as a kind of Neolithic cathedral, a central ritual site for a community or even a wider region. One archaeologist described the three mounds in this area as cathedrals of the megalithic religion, implying that their scale and complexity reflect powerful religions or social motivations. The labor involved, stone from distant quarries, hundreds of people working for years, suggests an organized society capable of directing enormous effort toward a shared goal. Who was buried in the chamber is another clue to its purpose. A genetic study of one of the individuals interred at Newgrange identified a man whose parents were close relatives, likely a brother, sister, or parent-child pairing. Ew. This kind of deliberate incest is rare in human societies and is usually associated with highly stratified elites like Egyptian pharaohs who claim divine status. Essentially, the whole concept of blue bloods, you know, like, oh, we can't let these outsiders come in and ruin our... So they're thinking that maybe somebody from, you know, an important family is who's buried there.
I think that stuck around long into the UK's. I think they did.
Yeah.
The kings and queens did that for a while.
Yeah, for sure. That finding has led some researchers to argue that Newgrange was a royal or priestly tomb for a small, powerful group that set itself apart from the rest of the community. Alongside the archaeology runs an older, stranger layer of explanation, and that is myth. Because, you know, we got to have some weirdness to go with it. In early Irish literature, Newgrange is not simply a tomb, it was considered the home of gods. The mound appears as the dwelling of Dagda, the chief of the... I really should have read this over like just before we started because the names are I'm terrible. He was the chief of the Tuatha De Danann and his son Angus Og, the young god of love and poetry. In one famous story, Angus tricks his father into giving him the brew for a day and a night, is what he said. Give me the mound for a day and a night. So his dad was like, sure, that's fine. But then Angus told him, well, every day is a day and a night, so that means you give it to me forever.
Okay.
And
kind of fucking
apparently,
genie riddle is that? What the fuck?
Yep, exactly. These stories treat Newgrange as an otherworldly palace shimmering between the human world and a divine realm. Heroes are conceived there, gods hold feasts inside its walls, and magical music drifts from the mound, lulling listeners to sleep. The myths do not remember farmers hauling stones or architects measuring angles. They remember the place is inherently supernatural, a ready-made house for beings who can cross time and space at will. Local folklore adds more earthly but still uncanny touches. For generations, people living nearby told stories about lights around the mound, fairy processions, and voices on the wind. The site had a reputation as a place where witches gathered or where those seeking help from old gods might go in secret. Many people kept their distance after dark, treating Newgrange with the wary respect reserved for places that belong to someone or something else. Modern visitors bring their own theories. Newgrange age and precision have made it a favorite subject for fringe ideas that reach far beyond the Boyne Valley. Some writers argue that the carvings on the stones are coded astronomical diagrams, mapping not just the sun, but the moon and perhaps stars or planets as well. Others see the spirals as symbols of altered states, suggesting that rituals inside the chamber might have involved trance, music, or mind-altering substances. Which, I mean, probably. Why not? There are also claims that the builders of Newgrange were connected to distant cultures through a lost maritime network. Early 20th century authors pointed to supposed similarities between the symbols at Newgrange and those in Sumerian or Hittite art, arguing for a shared origin or direct contact. So you can look at those spirals, and they're pretty unusual looking, but spiral art is everywhere across the world. It's not just, like old art stuff where from cultures that should technically not have had any contact with each other.
Well, there's something about the spiral that is like it appears a lot in nature.
Yes.
Like in crustaceans and shit like that, and like different plants, I think. But there's like a certain aspect to spirals that's like it appears a lot for some reason. So maybe that's a correlation instead of rather the same people that were in Sumeria did this in Ireland.
Right.
I think that's more. That seems similar to like. It makes more sense to me that they'd seen this spiral in like a seashell or something and then copied it rather than.
Yeah. Those ideas have been largely dismissed by modern scholarship, which sees the similarities as superficial, but they continue to surface in books and documentaries that frame Newgrange as evidence of a forgotten global civilization. In some speculative accounts, Newgrange becomes a kind of machine rather than a monument. The alignment with the solstice, the acoustic properties of the chamber, and the way the light slowly travels along the floor have all been interpreted as part of the deliberate sensory design. According to these views, the builders might have used architecture, sound, and light together to induce powerful experiences in a select few participants, perhaps reinforcing the authority of those who claim to mediate between the living and the dead, which, if you think about it, like if it's 5,000 years ago and you're walking around with your sheep or whatever, your little sheep herder, and you walk into this thing that now all of a sudden the only light coming in only comes during that one day at sunrise. You'd be like, oh, somebody with some supernatural powers is the one who figured this shit out. Wouldn't be like, oh, some smarty party pants did it. I wouldn't think so. These ideas often blend the archaeological facts with the old stories of gods and fairies, suggesting that the myths preserved some memory of real interactions, whether with spirits, entities, or something else entirely. For believers in the paranormal, the solstice beam striking the stone basins is not just a symbol, but a kind of activation, a yearly moment when the barrier between worlds grows thin. Standing in the chamber today, the hum of all these explanations is almost as concrete as the chill in the stone. Archaeologists see a carefully engineered burial mound tied to seasons and the ancestor worship. Myth remembers a glittering home of gods and heroes where time can be bent and music can be put whole crowds to sleep. Folklore quietly warns that the place belongs to beings who do not like to be disturbed. And modern visitors watching the solstice sunrise or tracing the spirals with their eyes continue to add their own theories to a story that has already lasted 5,000 years. And you can go and tour like the whole thing, but if you want to be there on the winter solstice sunrise, you have to enter a lottery because they only allow, a few people to go in. So you can go apply and hope your name gets picked. It's pretty cool looking though.
That would be cool. Yeah. Again, if they made that into an Airbnb, they would make so much money. Like the interior looks cool alone just without the sunlight, but
yeah,
it looks pretty cool. I'd recommend looking at pictures.
Very, very cool.
Okay, let's talk about Gareth Williams.
Okay.
Gareth Wynne Williams was born on September 26, 1978, in the small coastal town of Valley on the Isle of Anglesey in Wales. It's another hard to pronounce UK.
The names. Yeah.
Yeah. Anglesey is a quiet rural and far removed from the geopolitical world Gareth would eventually enter. But from an early age, he stood out academically. Teachers and classmates described him as intensely intelligent, particularly gifted in mathematics, and noticeably introverted. Gareth's aptitude for numbers was exceptional even by academic standards. While still in his teens, he enrolled at Bangor University, where he completed a degree in mathematics at just 17 years old.
Wow.
This made him one of the youngest graduates in the university's history and marked him as a prodigy. His professors reportedly viewed him as someone capable of tackling advanced cryptographic problems that most students would not encounter until postgraduate study. Don't ask me what cryptographic means because I don't know. In 2001, Gareth joined the United Kingdom's government communications headquarters, known as GCHQ. GCHQ is Britain's signals intelligence and cybersecurity agency, roughly equivalent to the United States National Security Agency. Gareth worked as a code breaker using advanced mathematics to help intercept, analyze, and decrypt encrypted communications, including those linked to terrorism and national security threats.
Very cool.
Yes. Sounds like an interesting job, but coding is so complex. It's so confusing to me.
Yeah.
By all accounts, Gareth was well suited to this type of work. He was private, methodical, and preferred puzzles and logic over social interactions. Colleagues described him as polite but distant, someone who rarely spoke about his personal life and did not socialize much outside of work. He lived modestly, enjoyed cycling, walking, and spending time outdoors, and appeared largely uninterested in marital possessions or status. Material possessions or status. In 2009, Gareth's career took a significant step forward when he was second from GCHQ to the Secret Intelligence Service, most commonly known as MI6.
Okay.
Yes, so he got selected to be a spy.
Well, yeah, I would think so. With the ability to
code break and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yep. 100%.
Unlike GCHQ, which focuses on electronic surveillance and intelligence gathering, MI6 handles foreign intelligence operations. Gareth's role remained largely technical, but his work now placed him under highly sensitive overseas operations. He moved to London for this assignment, renting a flat in Pimlico, I guess.
Sure.
A central neighborhood not far from the headquarters of several government departments. This move marked a major change in his daily life. London was faster, busier, and more isolating than Wales. Those who knew Gareth later said he struggled somewhat with the transition, though he remained committed to his work. In the summer of 2010, Gareth was nearing the end of his MI6 secondment and was expected to return to GCHQ. Earlier that August, he had traveled to the United States, where he attended a Black Hat security conference in Las Vegas, a major event in the cybersecurity world. On August 15th, Gareth was captured on CCTV in central London. He was seen shopping at Harrods and Waitrose, purchasing food including steaks and pastries. These images would later become crucial as they marked the last confirmed sighting of him alive.
Okay.
After that day, Gareth disappeared from view. Colleagues at MI6 became concerned when he failed to respond to calls and emails. This was unusual but not immediately alarming, as Gareth was known to be private and occasionally unreachable. Days passed, however, no one heard from him. He missed work without explanation. Eventually, his supervisors requested a welfare check. On August 23, 2010, 8 days after Gareth was last seen, police officers entered his flat. There were no signs of forced entry. The apartment appeared tidy and undisturbed. Inside the bathroom, officers made a discovery that would shock investigators and later capture international attention. In the bathtub sat a large red North Face sports bag. It was zipped shut and secured with a padlock. When officers cut the lock open, they found Gareth's body inside. He was naked, curled into fetal position. His body was in advanced state of decomposition, suggesting he had been dead for several days. Inside the bag, beneath his body, were the keys to the padlock. The scene raised immediate... Yeah.
What the?
It's so weird. It's so weird.
I am
the scene
so
raised
confused.
Immediate and disturbing questions. There is no obvious explanation for how Gareth could have locked himself inside the bag. There were no signs of a struggle in the flat. No fingerprints or footprints were found in the bathtub. The bathroom itself appeared otherwise clean. Gareth's phone and SIM cards were found neatly placed in the apartment rather than on his body. Toxicology tests later showed no drugs, alcohol, or poison in his system. The cause of death proved difficult to determine due to the level of decomposition. Pathologists could not establish a precise cause of death. They estimated that Gareth likely died around August 16th, 2010. Early forensic testing suggested the presence of DNA belonging to another person on Gareth's body. This finding initially fueled speculation that a third party had been involved. However, this DNA result was later revealed to be the result of laboratory contamination.
Oh, shit.
The DNA belonged to a scientist involved in the testing process. So,
or was he the murderer?
No, no one knows.
Oh, come on now.
Police explored the possibility that Gareth had somehow entered the bag himself. Tests were conducted to see whether it was physically possible for a person of Gareth's size and flexibility to climb into the bag and zip it shut. While
Okay.
technically possible, the process was awkward and difficult and did not fully explain how the padlock could have been secured from the outside.
Yeah. From the inside.
Or,
On
yeah,
the
from the inside.
outside. When he's inside. Oh my. I mean, I guess you could like
use the
if
bag,
he
I
was
guess, but it's
inside,
probably
yeah.
under so much tension with a human being inside of a duffel bag. It probably, I don't think you could get it to stretch enough to lock it.
Yeah.
I feel
how
and get it
how
through the
big was
loops of
he?
the fucking thing. He was a
How big
normal
was
sized
he?
man, and it was a duffel bag. It's like
And how big was a duffel bag?
I saw the pictures. It looks. Let's see. The duffel bag is like probably a third the size of the bathtub, maybe.
Okay. How? I don't. Is he like? Was he a
understand.
little person?
He's normal sized human, probably 5'8", I guess. I don't know. I didn't see his height, but he looks normal size to me. I don't know.
Wild.
In May 2012, a coroner's inquest was held to examine the circumstances of Gareth's death. The coroner, Dr. Fiona Wilcox, reviewed the evidence from police, forensic experts, and representatives from MI6. The coroner concluded that Gareth's death was unnatural and likely criminally mediated. No shit.
Okay.
She stated that it was improbable Gareth had locked himself inside the bag and that the evidence pointed towards the involvement of an unknown third party.
Yeah.
Despite this conclusion, the coroner stopped short of issuing a formal verdict of unlawful killing. The legal standard for such a ruling... I'm
Okay.
The legal standard for such a ruling is high, and the lack of definitive forensic evidence means it could not be met.
Right.
Dr.
Which,
Wilcox,
I mean, go ahead.
Dr. Wilcox also criticized the conduct of MI6. She noted delays in reporting Gareth's missing and failures to fully cooperate with the police investigation in the early stages. Some evidence, she said, had not been provided in timely manner, potentially hindering the inquiry. So it sounds like Gareth knew too much and someone killed him and put him in a body bag.
Yeah.
Not a body bag, sorry, a duffel bag.
A duffel bag. I mean, obviously,
You found something you shouldn't have found out.
My guess is that I don't know. This is wild.
What's that
I'm
prince
so
in the Epstein
confused.
files? Prince Andrews? Is that him?
Huh?
There's a prince that's in the Epstein files.
Oh, I don't know.
Prince Andrew. Maybe.
It might be. Yeah.
Sorry if I'm saying the wrong dude, but maybe he saw that. He went to United States. Maybe he found some emails that he shouldn't have found. And
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Super strange.
It's
yeah. So several explanations have been proposed over the years, none of which fully account for all aspects of the case.
no.
One theory is that Gareth was murdered by someone connected to his work, given his role in intelligence and cryptography. Speculations has centered on foreign intelligence services or criminal groups. However, no concrete evidence has ever supported this theory. Another is an accidental death through self-entrapment, but I don't think that is possible at all.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're like, okay, I want to see if I fit in a duffel bag. Are you going to do it in your
Why would
bathtub?
you lock it? No. And why would you have a padlock?
Why would you lock it? And why would you do it without someone there to help
And fully
you?
naked.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're concerned
At least underwear.
fitting in. Yeah, true.
At least
If you're worried
underwear.
about bulky clothing preventing from fitting inside the duffel bag, I could see not having clothes on. You're right, though. Underwear would not restrict that enough.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't make any sense to me.
no.
And oh god, that duffel bag must so gross.
Maybe was it a really big bathtub and so the duffel bag is really big? I'm
looking at pictures of probably not the duffel bag, but a similar duffel bag, and it's
I gotta go.
fairly large. I mean, so I'm looking at a picture on Google Images. It says reconstruction. A yoga expert tried to climb into a similar hold-all in a video shown in Mr. Williams' inquest. And this dude actually put himself in there, but he didn't close it, it looks like. But I bet you Gareth wasn't a yoga instructor.
Probably not. Well, that was the other thing you said, like trying to figure out his flexibility.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how flexible another person is unless they.
You could probably guess, though. I'm assuming a guy who sits at the computer and codes all day wouldn't be the most flexible.
But you don't know if on his off time.
No,
he's
I don't know.
doing yoga and he's the yoga master. And
but if a yoga instructor can't even do it, who can? One of those like those America's Got Talent, like where they bend their joints the wrong way. One of those guys. I forget what contortionist. I guess a contortionist might be able to do that, but I don't think Gareth. I
hate that stuff. I hate the contortionist stuff.
Gross.
Ugh,
Do you have a chaser for us?
I do have a chaser. It is a watch recommendation from Netflix. It's the show called His and Hers. It's about a woman who is a reporter, and she's trying to reinvigorate her career. And so she goes to her hometown because there was a murder there, and she's going to go report on it. But it's the whole gist of the thing is like there's two sides to every story, and it's a murder mystery, and there are some great fucking turns in that story. Stuff that you go, oh, nope, did not expect that to be what was going to happen.
I love a good twist and turn.
There's some great twists in there. Great twists.
Okay. What's it called again?
What's your chaser? His and Hers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. My chaser is a book. I listen to it on audiobook because it's easier than it's so much easier to listen to audiobooks when I'm working than like read a book every day because I only get like an hour to read it. But it's called The Profound Benefits of a Stint in Prison by Andrew Hamilton. And he's a comedian that I've seen on YouTube a bunch. And he was arrested for selling mushrooms in Australia. And they knocked down his door and raided him. And he just tells about like the whole incident and how it happened. And my favorite part of the book is he rates every single prison meal that he gets, and randomly throughout the chapters he'll be like sausage roll 6.5 out of 10 and like describe the meal to you. And I just think it's a funny way to break up like the realness of the story because it's pretty harrowing. He describes how his life in prison is going and stuff, and it's interesting listen. So that's my chaser.
It's a good book. It was a good book. I liked it.
Yeah. If you
It's
like comedy stuff, you've probably seen him like in Instagram or YouTube or something.
Yeah.
But it's
interesting. It's not my typical genre of books, but I really, really liked it.
Yeah. It seemed more of like an interview of himself, kind of. Like, it was because I like listening to. I want to find a podcast about his story, but
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I haven't looked into it, but I'm sure there's a podcast with him talking about it. But it was interesting because I didn't really know much about him. I just see him on clips, like in comedy channels and stuff like that. But it was cool to hear like his life story because I didn't know anything about him.
I want to hear his stand-up.
Yeah. I mean, the videos I see of him are like jokes, just like street jokes kind of. So
I
don't know. I haven't seen his stand-up at all. I should probably look into that. I bet it's good.
I was thinking about that when I finished the book. I was thinking about like, I'd like to hear, because his prison stint was what got him to comedy, and then his comedy was about being in prison.
The thing about his buddy, though, that was sad at the end.
Which buddy?
When he started comedy.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away in case people listen, but yeah.
It's definitely worth checking out. It's a good book.
Yeah. I agree. All right. I think that brings us to the end of today's episode.
It does. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yes, thank you, and love you, Mom.
Love you too, bud. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.